So the Zweite Bundesliga has returned after a 1 week break, of course, for the DFP Pokal. But who's going to take charge of the division and who's already in trouble? We'll take a little look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video today. We look forward to match number 3 already over in the Zweite Bundesliga, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new, where you been, boys? Smash your subscribe and get your bag out today with all things Bundesliga. That's number 2 related, that but not related. What? Football related? We got it all here, boys. Under one Ruski. So far, so good for Jahn, Regensburg, and Karlsruher, 2 for 2. But of course, as for the bigger boys, the Werder Bremen, the Schalke, have still got it all to do as they try to get themselves right back into contention for, of course, automatic return to the top flight. We'll take a look at all of that in a minute. Of course, big shout out to the VIPs. They are the Patreons. Thank you for your love and, of course, behind the scenes. I do appreciate that. And if you are interested in support the channel from as little to as much as you like, get involved with the Patreon down below, patreon.com/overseas. But here we go then. Of course, we've been away for a while. Already with the first break in the Zweite Bundesliga. So let's take a look at it then, shall we? Of course, recap what went on last round. Of course, have a little look what's going on this coming weekend. So here we go. Of course, the results from last time around. Karlsruher took on Darmstadt 98. Ended up as a 3-0 win was the final score. 2-1 for me. Not too shabby on my end. Of course, so that's them. 2 wins out of 2. 14-1 to get promoted as champions. So, of course, one of the teams from the past, one of the old Classicos in my upbringing, of course. Paderborn against Nürnberg ended up as a 1-0 win was my prediction. 2-2 was the final score in the end. Paderborn, two draws out of 2 for them. Nürnberg so far, not also 2 draws out of 2. Meanwhile, Hannover 96 took on Hansa Rostock in the battle of the H's. Of course, 2-0 win was my prediction. 3-0 win going the other way. Hansa Rostock, bounce back ability for them on this one. That's right. Of course, that's their first win in the campaign. I'm just trying to see where they are on the table. Yes, indeed. Jan Regensburg is, of course, 2 for 2 for them after a 3-0 win, convincing win over Sandhausen. 1-0 win for me, so not too shabby on that one. Meanwhile, FC Ingolstadt against Heidenheim went with the draw on this one. Heidenheim got with the win, with a 2-1 win to give themselves 3 points. Düsseldorf, also one of the bigger boys, of course, 2-1 win for me, going in favour of Düsseldorf. Werder Bremen got themselves their first win with a 3-2 win in the end. Holstein Kiel up against Schalke. Schalke put a bit of a benchmark. Maybe they are, of course, in the mix here for the big ones. 1-0 win for me, all against the road. 3-0 win for Schalke was the real bloody deal. Kicking off for the Hamburger SV took on Dynamo Dresden. 2-1 win was for my pick. Actually, and then 1-1 in the end. Dynamo Dresden also unbeaten so far. 150-1. They are, of course, tipped long shots to get promoted as well. Erzgebirge Aue took on St. Pauli. That's the one I suck at big time. 1-1 draw, got the one close to the money. 0-0 for me. Was the 1-0 was the real score. 1-1 was my prediction, so not too shabby in the end. Got myself 4 out of 9, which is around about 45%. So give or take, not too shabby. What about you guys then? Let's take a look at the early board prediction league in just a second. Here's a recap of the table. Karlsruhe, of course, 2 for 2. Jahn, Regensburg not too far. Dynamo Dresden, St. Pauli not too far away either. Then of course the chasing pack. Holstein Kiel in a bit of trouble. SV Sandhausen already also in a bit of trouble, as are Darmstadt as well at the foot. Ingolstadt also with 0 points. Let's take a look at the prediction league. Of course, this is just for week number 2. Karlsruhe leads the charge. Of course, got himself 6 at the last one. MCO back, not too shabby. Shepherd also up there in the mix. Give Charlie and Nanakem, not too bad indeed. Alex Weller a bit of struggling, but of course got a couple of points in the way. I would have featured around about 7th if I, of course, was be in your own prediction league. But anyway, not too shabby. Of course, what about the overall leaderboard? Let's take a look at it. It's not in fantastic order. I've got a bit because some people had the names in wrong. I'm already fixing it, but I can't do it for the whole season. But anyway, Tom Stainer and Karlsruhe are your leaders with 8 out of, 90, 80, 8 out of 18 so far. Now, again, not too far. Game Charlie as well. But of course, that's the situation with the prediction league right here, right now. Of course, if you want to get involved with the prediction league, here is number 3. It is, of course, Cutley 4/2 Bundes number 3. That's, of course, again, keep your name exactly the same. Do not change it. Of course, me grief as we kick on forward. Anyway, so let's take a look at it then, shall we? Kick it all off with this coming Friday or the 13th. Of course, bad news for somebody. Will it be Schalke? Will it be Erzgebirge Aue? Of course, let's take a look at these two sides then, of course, as they lock horns this coming weekend. Schalke, of course, managed by Dimitris Gramadoudis up against Erzgebirge Aue's Arashki Shapovsky. Take a place in the Veltons Arena. Played just twice in 2010, 1 win apiece. 0 draws. Biggest win for Schalke was a 3-1 win. The one and only win for Erzgebirge Aue was a 1-0 win. Last time they played each other, of course, they were friendly. These were friendlies, of of course, stretching back 2010 and 2018. Of course, so far so good for Schalke. 3 wins out of 3, including the DFB Pokal. As for Erzgebirge Aue, not too shabby for them, actually pretty shabby as well. Played 3, yet to get going. Of course, losing to Ingolstadt in the Deutsche Pokal first round, so they are already out. Take a look at the odds of this one. 7-4 on is your Schalke. They're looking very, very good. 3-1 is your draw. 90-4 is your Erzgebirge Aue. For me, I'm going to go with Schalke on this one. Of course, they've got the wheels moving. Got the first win of the campaign. I think they'll follow up with another one. 2-0 win in the end. Next up, we've got St. Pauli against Hamburg. Also on Friday the 13th. Played each other 14 times since 1995. 4 wins to St. Pauli, 5 wins to Hamburg. 5 draws. The biggest win for Hamburg over St. Pauli was a 4-0 win. The biggest win going the other way was a 2-0 win. Of course, last time they played each other in St. Pauli was a 1-0 win back in March 2021 in the Zweite Bundesliga. And last time that Hamburger SV actually beat St. Pauli was a 4-0 win back in 2019. Of course, so far so good as well for Hamburger SV. Played 3, 1-2, lost 1. Of course, beating Braunschweig in the German Cup. As for St. Pauli, also going through, winning 2 and drawing 1 in the last 3 as well, beating Magdeburg 3-2 on the road as well, so not too shabby there. Of course, St. Pauli 58 for the victory, 5-2 is your draw, and 7-5 is your draw. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for the hosts on this for St. Pauli to make another win, and of course, moving the chains into Saturday. We go Holstein Kiel up against Jahn Regensburg, of course, 2-2 for them. Playing at the Holstein Stadium over on the 14th of August. Ole Reimer in the dugout for, of course, Kiel, and of course, Mezad Zamarovic in the dugout for Jahn Regensburg. Played 16 times in 2009, 9 wins for Kiel, 3 wins for Jahn Regensburg, and 4 draws. The biggest win for Kiel was a 3-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 2-0 win. Last time I played in Kiel was a 3-2 win in the Bundesliga back in May 2021. Of course, Kiel did beat Flensburg after extra time in the DFB Pokal to make it 1 win. 1 win from 3, of course, losing to St. Pauli, losing to Schalke in the opening day. So a good chance for them to maybe reset the blocks there. Meanwhile, Jahn Regensburg made it 3 from 3, of course, beating Darmstadt opening day, Sandhausen, of course, last round, of course, beating Rot-Reis Koblenz in the Deutsche Pokal first round. And yet to concede a goal as well. Even Stevens is your Holstein Kiel, 35 is draw, 35 is also your away win on this one. Of course, I've gone with the 2-1 win. Maybe, of course, you can round that up to a 2-0 win to make it another clean sheet, as, of course, they try to do the unthinkable. Next, of course, Nürnberg taking on Fortuna Düsseldorf, also on August the 14th. Played each other 90 times since 1994, 9 wins for Nürnberg, 7 wins for Düsseldorf, and 3 draws. The biggest win for Nürnberg was a 5-1 win. The biggest win going the other way was a 3-1 win, going in favour of Düsseldorf as well. Of course, last time they played each other in Düsseldorf was in Nürnberg was a 1-1 draw back in November 2020. Heading into this, of course, Nürnberg unbeaten so far, drawing with Erzgebirge Aue, and of course Paderborn. They also beat Ulm in the Deutsche Cup. As for Düsseldorf, also 2 wins from 3, losing to Bremen, of course, match number 2. But of course, bounced back with a 5-0 win over Oldenburg. Look at the bookies odds on this one. We have 29-20 is your hosts on this one. 25 is draw. 7-4 is your away win. That is Fortuna Düsseldorf on this one. I'm going to go with Düsseldorf to lose this one. Nürnberg to take the 3 points and again move the chains. Next up we have Sandhausen up against Karlsruher SC. Of course, played each other 13 times in 2013. Of course, 3 wins for Sandhausen, 6 wins for Karlsruhe, and of course 4 draws. Of course, the biggest win for Sandhausen over Karlsruhe was a 4-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 3-0 win. Of course, heading into this, last time played each other at Sandhausen was a 5-goal thriller in favour of Karlsruhe. Heading into this, of course, Sandhausen lost to Leipzig in the Deutsche Cup first round. Also lost to Jahn Regensburg and Düsseldorf. Yet to score a goal. They're in trouble already. As for Karlsruhe, 3 wins from 3, and have scored a butt ton of goals, 10 goals in the past 3 games. Of course, beating Rostock, beating Darmstadt, and of course, beating Luther in the German Cup as well. Look at the bookies odds on this one. We have Karlsruhe 65 on for the victory. 11-5 is your hosts, and 12-5 is your draw. I've gone with Karlsruhe also to get another win, and again, you probably can round that up, maybe even give it a clean sheet. 2-1 win is my actual prediction, but it could go 2-0 in the end. Dynamo Dresden taking on Hannover 96, of course, locking horns at the Rudolf Habig Stadion on August the 14th. Hannover managed by Jan Zimmermann, Dresden managed by Alexander Schmidt. Those are the 6 times in 2006, 5 wins for Hannover, 1 win for Dresden, no draws. The biggest win, or the only win for Dresden, was a 2-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 3-0 win for Hannover. Last time played in Dresden was a 2-0 win for Hannover back in October 2019. Of course, heading into this, Dresden unbeaten so far, played 3, 1-2 loss, drew 1. Of course, the draw was against Hamburg. They did beat Paderborn in the German Cup, so they are through, and of course, Paderborn are out. As for Hannover, of course, just won once. Of course, they did beat the Nordstadt in the German Cup first round. Of course, 4-0 win just the other day as well. Look at the bookies odds on this one. We have at 90% for Dynamo Dresden, 25 is draw, 75 is your away win. That is Hannover 96. I've gone with a 1-1 draw on this one again. Dynamo Dresden will be happy with that. So let's take a look at, of course, Werder Bremen. Of course, next up against Paderborn. That's right, taking place at the Westerstadion. This coming, what day is this? On Sunday, August the 15th. Played each other 5 times in 2012, 2 wins apiece and 1 draw. The biggest win for Bremen was a 5-1 win. The biggest win the other way for Paderborn was just a 1-0 win. Last time played each other at Bremen was a 1-0 win for Paderborn. Last time played each other, of course, both home or away, was a 5-1 win for Bremen. Of course, those were back in the Bundesliga 2 seasons ago, I think, or maybe even last season. 2 seasons ago. Anyway, heading into this, Bremen, of course, already out the German Cup Pokal, losing to Osnabrück, 2-0 win for them the other day. Start off so far so good in the Zweite Bundesliga, unbeaten. As for Paderborn, yet to get going. Played 3, of course, drew 2, both in the league, and of course lost to Dresden in the cup. Quick look at the bookies odds. 90-10 is sorry, scrap that. Your bookies odds are at 11-10 on is your Werder Bremen, 30-5 is short, 11-4 is your Paderborn on this one. Good to go with a 2-0 win for Werder Bremen though. Of course, I do think they'll be in the mix at the end of the season. Kicking forward now to Darmstadt up against Ingolstadt then, shall we? Of course, also take place on August the 15th. That is the Sunday. Let's take a look at this one then, shall we? Of course, play each other 12 times in 2006, 5 wins for Ingolstadt, 1 win for Darmstadt, 6 draws the biggest win, or the only win for Darmstadt was a 2-0 win, the biggest win the other way was a 3-0 win for Ingolstadt. Of course, the last time they played each other at Darmstadt was a 1-1 draw back in 2018, that was around about December time, and of course they played each other 3-0 win for Ingolstadt last round. Of course, heading into this, Darmstadt have had a nightmare start to the season, lost back-to-back games in the Bundesliga SPI, and they also crashed out to 1860 Munich in the German Pokal 5-4, I think after penalties. As for their opposition, Ingolstadt, also pretty wobbly, back-to-back defeats in the Bundesliga SPI. Of course, they did get past Erzgebirge Aue, those 2-1 win in the Dutch Pokal to make the second round. Bookies odds on this one we have 94 for Darmstadt, 25 is your, 65 is your way win. That is Ingolstadt. I'm going to go with a 0-0 draw on this one again. I think probably both teams will be happy with that to get the first point of the campaign, I believe. And then finally, it's Heidenheim up against Hansa Rostock, also on Sunday, August the 15th. Take a closer look at this one. They, of course, played each other 7 times in 2010, 3 wins for Heidenheim, 4 wins for Rostock, and 0 draws. The one and only win for Heidenheim, the biggest win for Heidenheim was a 2-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 3-2 win for Hansa Rostock. Of course, last time played each other at Heidenheim was a 2-0 win for Heidenheim back in the Dritte Bundesliga. That's right, back in August 2013. Heading into this, Rostock, not Rostock, Heidenheim. Oh my goodness gracious me. Heidenheim, unbeaten so far in the Bundesliga, played a draw, got a draw and a win. They also beat Rostock in the Deutsche Pokal, extra time in Rostock. Wow, wow, wee wow. As for Rostock in the league, 1-1, lost 1. Of course, lost to Karlsruher, beat Hannover, and again beaten Heidenheim in the Deutsche Pokal as well. Bookies odds on this one we have even Steve's Heidenheim, 30-5 is your Rostock, and 5-2 is your, so 5-2 is your Rostock, 35 is your draw. So Rostock coming into this on the back of the win in Rostock last round. Will they get the double over them? No, I'm going with Heidenheim with a 2-1 win in the end. That's my thoughts, of course, as we look forward to, of course, match number 3. Of course, if you are interested in match number 3 in the Bundesliga, you can still get involved. Plenty of time for you to catch up on this one. Here is the prediction league details. 2 Bundes 3 is the link, or the important part of the link is cut/2 Bundes number 3 for the time being. That's it for now. Be sure to give the video some love, smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Check out the links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course Patreon as well, as we look forward to seeing who can stake a real claim for automatic return, maybe to the Bundesliga top flight, or will there be a dark horse in the mix? Let me know your thoughts and, of course, opinions down below. Look forward to seeing it. And again, check out the links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. Until then, we are done.